Most people spend years in the gym, lifting heavy weights and sweating for hours, yet their muscles barely change. The truth is, it's not the weight you lift that decides your growth. It's the way you lift it. Every rep you do has the power to build or break your progress. Imagine, the same set, the same dumbbell, but one lifter transforms his body while the other stays the same. Why? Because one understands the science of hypertrophy, how to turn every rep into real muscle growth. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever wondered why your hard work isn't showing, this is your wake-up call. It's time to stop training blindly and start training smart, because after this, you'll never see a single rep the same way again. It started with frustration, the kind that builds up when your reflection refuses to change, no matter how much effort you pour into every workout. For months, maybe years, countless people have pushed through sets with fire in their eyes but confusion in their minds. The gym floor echoes with effort, yet only a few bodies truly transform. Why? Because most of us chase weight, not growth. We believe lifting heavier means progress, but in truth, our muscles don't understand numbers. They understand tension, stress, and recovery. That's the moment the truth begins to hit. Hypertrophy isn't about how strong you look. It's about how deeply your muscles feel the work. In that moment of realization, the ego starts to fade. You stop caring about what others lift and start focusing on what your body is telling you. Each rep suddenly becomes more than just motion. It becomes communication, a message to your muscle fibers saying, grow, adapt, evolve. The science behind hypertrophy is simple but powerful. When you lift with proper form, control the tempo, and create the right amount of muscle tension, tiny micro-tears form in your muscle tissue. That's the signal your body needs to rebuild, stronger, denser, and bigger. But this only happens when you train with purpose, not pride. Think of your muscles like students. They only learn when the lesson is clear. If you rush through your sets, throw weights around, or skip mind-muscle connection, your body has no reason to change. It's not about how long you train, but how effectively you train. The best athletes and coaches know this truth. Growth happens in the details. Every squeeze, every pause, every slow negative counts more than ego-driven heavy lifting. The goal isn't to survive the set. It's to challenge your muscles enough to demand adaptation. The first step in this journey is awareness. You must learn to listen, not to your playlist, not to the noise of the gym, but to your body. Feel when the muscle is truly under tension. Feel when the rep is too fast or too easy. When you begin to sense that deep, controlled burn, that's hypertrophy speaking. It's not pain, it's progress. The burn is your signal that your body is adapting, repairing, and preparing to grow. And as this awareness grows, something inside you changes. You no longer walk into the gym just to train. You walk in with purpose. You begin to treat each rep as sacred. Every contraction is an opportunity. Every set is a chance to improve. You start to realize that growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. This is the foundation of hypertrophy, understanding that the real transformation begins not in your muscles, but in your mind. Once you understand that every rep matters, the next step is learning the art of control. Most people lift weights, but few command them. The difference lies in how you move. Control is not just about slowing down a rep, it's about owning every inch of it. Imagine holding the weight at the top of a bicep curl, feeling that tight squeeze and resisting gravity as it pulls down. That resistance, that fight against the pull, is where muscle growth is born. Hypertrophy is not a game of momentum, it's a game of control. When you train with control, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The weight doesn't feel lighter, but your connection to it becomes deeper. The muscle starts to respond differently. It activates fully, every fiber engaged in the battle. This is what scientists call time under tension. The longer your muscles stay under strain, the stronger the signal for growth. It's like telling your body, this is hard, and you must adapt. That adaptation, over time, builds strength, endurance, and visible size. But control isn't just physical, it's mental. You must learn to silence distractions. In a world of constant noise, phones, mirrors, and endless comparison, real focus becomes your greatest weapon. When you lift, the world outside fades away. There's only you, your breath, and the weight in your hands. This deep concentration, this focus on form, sends a clear message to your muscles that every rep counts. It transforms your training from routine to ritual. Dr. Mike Israetel often emphasizes this principle. Don't just move the weight, feel the muscle. When you understand that, your training evolves. You stop chasing numbers and start chasing sensations. Each rep becomes a deliberate effort to push your muscles beyond comfort but within control. This balance between intensity and precision is where true hypertrophy happens. Too light and the stimulus is weak. Too heavy and your form collapses. The magic lies in the middle, where strength meets strategy, Control also demands patience. Growth doesn't happen overnight. You can't rush biology. Your muscles need time to recover, repair, and rebuild. That's why every rep you perform should serve a purpose. Every movement should build toward the next. If you can master control over your form, your focus, and your ego, you unlock a level of growth most people never reach. By now, training feels different. Each session becomes more meaningful, more intense, more connected. You're not just lifting, you're sculpting. You're shaping your body with precision and science. And with every controlled rep, you're not just building muscle, you're building discipline, awareness, and mastery. This is the essence of control, the bridge between effort and evolution. Once you master it, you stop wasting reps and start creating results. The gym is no longer a place to prove something. It becomes a place to transform. After learning control, many lifters make the mistake of thinking more. Training means more growth. They push harder, add more sets, and stay longer in the gym, believing intensity alone drives results. But the truth is, muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow after the gym. The workout is the spark, but recovery is the fire that builds strength and size. Without recovery, all your effort turns into exhaustion, not progress. This is the science of hypertrophy that most people ignore. Growth happens during rest, not during reps. When you lift, you create microscopic damage in your muscle fibers. That's a good thing. It's the trigger for adaptation. But if you never give those fibers time to repair, they can't rebuild stronger. Your body needs nutrients, sleep, and rest to complete this process. Think of your muscles as construction sites. Training breaks them down, and recovery rebuilds them. If you keep breaking without rebuilding, the foundation weakens. That's why overtraining doesn't make you better. It breaks you faster. Sleep, in particular, is your body's most powerful growth tool. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, repairs muscle tissue, and restores energy. Miss out on quality sleep and you're not just tired, you're slowing your body's ability to grow. No supplement or pre-workout can replace that. Rest is the real anabolic secret. Nutrition, too, plays a crucial role. Protein provides the building blocks for new muscle fibers, carbohydrates refuel your training energy, and fats keep your hormones balanced. Without proper fuel, your body can't perform or recover at its best. Recovery also means knowing when to pull back. Many lifters fear taking rest days, as if they'll lose progress. But rest days aren't setbacks. They're strategy. They're the silent partners in your progress. Just like a musician needs pauses between notes to create harmony, your muscles need downtime to create growth. Dr. Mike Israetel often calls this stimulus and fatigue management. You stimulate growth, then you manage fatigue. That balance is where magic happens. Mentally, recovery gives you clarity. It helps you reset, regain motivation, and stay consistent. Burnout is real, and pushing too hard for too long kills progress faster than laziness ever could. The best athletes don't just train hard. They train smart. They listen to their bodies, respect rest, and come back stronger. When you start valuing recovery, everything changes. You begin to train with more energy, lift heavier, and stay injury-free. Your body feels stronger, your mind sharper. You realize that rest isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Growth is a cycle. Stress, recover, adapt. Miss any step, and the cycle breaks. So, if you truly want to grow, don't just focus on what happens in the gym. Focus on what happens after. Every meal, every hour of sleep, every recovery day counts. Because when your body rests, it rebuilds the version of you that's stronger, bigger, and more unstoppable than before. You've mastered control, learned the value of recovery, and now it's time to unlock the driving force behind all muscle growth. Progression. Without progression, even the most perfect training routine eventually stops working. The human body is incredibly adaptive. It learns, adjusts, and becomes efficient at whatever challenge you give it. That's why the same workout that once made you sore now feels easy. The secret to continuous hypertrophy is simple but powerful. You must give your muscles a new reason to grow. Progressive overload is the foundation of this science. It means gradually increasing the challenge over time. More weight, more reps, more sets, or more tension. Think of it like teaching your body a new language of effort. Each time you make your training slightly harder, your muscles respond by adapting, growing stronger, thicker, and more resilient. But the key word is gradually. Too fast, and you risk injury. Too slow, and your body gets comfortable. True progression is a balance between patience and persistence. Most people think progression only means adding more weight to the bar, but hypertrophy science teaches otherwise. Progress can come from better form, slower tempo, deeper range of motion, or improved mind-muscle connection. Every small detail counts. When you lift with precision and push your muscles a little further each week, your body takes notice. That extra rep, that extra second of tension, that's where real transformation hides. Consistency fuels progression. You can't grow by training hard for 1 week and skipping the next. Your muscles respond to patterns, not promises. Each workout builds on the last, like chapters in a book. If you miss too many pages, the story doesn't make sense. That's why tracking your workouts is powerful. Write down your weights, reps, and how each set feels. When you see progress on paper, you'll feel motivated to push harder in practice. But progression isn't only physical, it's mental. Some days, the bar will feel heavier and your energy lower. On those days, showing up and giving your best effort is progression. Building mental toughness is part of hypertrophy. The discipline to stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it, separates those who grow from those who quit. Dr. Mike Israetel often reminds lifters that progression doesn't happen in a straight line. There will be plateaus, times when growth slows or stalls. That's normal. It's your body's way of saying it's adjusted to the stress. The solution isn't to give up, but to innovate. Change the stimulus, switch exercises, alter rep ranges, or manipulate tempo. Small changes reignite progress. When you embrace progression as a lifelong process, you stop chasing instant results and start building lasting ones. Each rep becomes an opportunity. Each session a step forward. The goal isn't perfection, it's improvement. Bit by bit, day by day, your body transforms into something greater than before. This is the science of progression, the rhythm of growth. It teaches patience, persistence, and purpose. Because in the end, true strength isn't built in a single workout, it's built through thousands of small, consistent victories. By the time you reach this stage, something extraordinary begins to happen. Not just in your body, but in your mind. You've learned the science behind hypertrophy, the importance of control, recovery, and progression. But now, you start to realize that true transformation goes beyond muscle fibers and gym sessions. It's about becoming a stronger, more disciplined, and more focused version of yourself. Hypertrophy doesn't just build muscle, it builds character. The person who once lifted without purpose now trains with intention. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every controlled breath carries meaning. You start to notice small victories, the way your posture improves, how your energy lasts longer, and how confidence quietly replaces doubt. You no longer chase shortcuts or compare yourself to others. You understand that your growth is personal, a reflection of effort, patience, and consistency. That shift in mindset is the real transformation. Physical change is visible, but the mental and emotional transformation is far deeper. Training becomes therapy, a place where stress melts, focus sharpens, and self-belief grows stronger. You begin to see how the same principles that grow muscle also apply to life. Control teaches patience, recovery teaches balance, progression teaches perseverance. Every lesson in the gym becomes a lesson for living. The discipline to show up, the humility to rest, and the courage to keep going. These shape not just your physique, but your future. As you continue this journey, you realize hypertrophy isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle. There's no final chapter where growth ends. Each new goal opens another challenge, another layer of improvement. You start training not because you have to, but because you want to. The gym is no longer punishment, it's a privilege. The sound of weights, the rhythm of breath, the tension in every rep, it all becomes part of who you are. Dr. Mike Israetel often says, science doesn't just explain muscle growth, it explains human growth. And he's right. The science of hypertrophy teaches that growth comes from consistent effort, intelligent planning, and respect for the process. Those who chase quick results often fade away, but those who trust the science keep evolving. You now understand that success is not built on motivation alone. It's built on systems, habits, and self-discipline. Standing at this point, you look back and realize how far you've come. The confusion, the frustration, the ego, all replaced by knowledge, awareness, and control. You've not only learned how to turn every rep into growth, but also how to turn every challenge in life into opportunity. That's the real power of this journey. The ability to transform pain into purpose and effort into evolution. And so, this chapter doesn't end with a finish line. It ends with a beginning, a new you, built not just by lifting weights, but by lifting yourself. Because true hypertrophy isn't about bigger muscles. It's about becoming stronger in every way that matters. If you found power and purpose in this journey, don't stop here. Let's grow together. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Science Fitness Vibe on YouTube for more science-based health and fitness stories that transform the way you train and live.